So that's mind-blowing for me, really scary, you know.
Former co-workers of the suspect behind what they think is behind a string of armed robberies. They're speaking out. Good afternoon. I'm Brittany Pieper.
And I'm Colin Ruane. Prosecutors charged 31-year-old Jafari Boss this morning in connection to 5 armed robberies dating back to December 3rd. KOMU-8's Creighton Hayes starts our team coverage this afternoon and joins us in the studio.
What we know is prosecutors are charging Jafari Boss with multiple counts of robbery, armed criminal action, and kidnapping. Boss is accused of committing these crimes, which started back in December 3rd. The list of robberies and crimes police say Jafari Boss is responsible for spans back more than 2 weeks. During that time, a Speedy Mart, Budget Host Inn, Denny's, We Be Smokin', and China Moon were robbed, not to mention a North Columbia home invasion, all linked back to Boss, according to police. During the robberies, police say the duo tied employees up with duct tape or zip ties and demanded money, after which the suspects called a cab to get away 4 times. The day before the China Moon robbery, the Boone County Sheriff's Department responded to an attempted home invasion where they say the homeowner fired a shot into his window to scare off the intruders. That same day, police found the juvenile suspect with a gunshot wound on the University of Missouri's campus. Court documents show both the kid's mother and Boss visited the boy at the hospital that day. He is believed to be the one who accompanied Boss in 4 of the 5 robberies. The boy's mother admitted to buying masks used in the robberies at Party City, saying she was scared of Boss and what he was capable of. This isn't Boss's first run-in with the law. In 2010, Boss pleaded guilty to another armed robbery. In 2011, he was guilty of domestic assault. We remind our viewers that Boss has not pleaded guilty in any of these cases, and the legal process is still underway. KOMU-8 Shell Ramin joins us now. Outside of Denny's restaurant, police say Boss robbed.
I'm standing right outside of Denny's, which is one out of 5 places that police say Jafari Boss robbed. I actually sat down with a few servers today, and what I learned was that Boss was actually a former employee at this Denny's. They say they knew the layout of the building, and he definitely used that to his advantage. When he walked into Denny's, he shot a gunshot into the ceiling. He told everyone to get down on the ground. Now, this is actually a piece of that tile. You can see right here where that bullet went straight through the tile. Thankfully, no one was shot, but everyone is saying that it was a terrifying experience.
He knew where, where the safe was. So he knew exactly where the office was and everything. Because when you go back there, it kind of looks like, like a closet door, But he knew where everything was.
Employees say Boss made one server do his work for him. She had to collect wallets from customers and empty the cash register. Workers I spoke to today said they are still terrified that the worker they was once quiet and hardworking is capable of robbing several businesses around Columbia. Now let's check in with Jack Corey. He's live in front of the police department saying how Columbia police arrested Boss and his accomplice. Jack?
Thanks, Shale. Police were able to build a case against Boss and the second suspect through physical evidence, taxi records, credit card statements, and a Facebook photo. A link in the case that led to police arresting the second suspect came during a home invasion December 12th. Officers found duct tape at the scene of the crime, then picked up a juvenile suspect with a gunshot wound on the MU campus shortly after the invasion. The suspect said he had tried to treat the wound with duct tape. Boss and the second suspect also had taxi cabs pick them up at locations near all of the incidents shortly after 4 of the 5 robberies. Each time, the cab dropped the suspects off at the second suspect's mother's house. Lastly, one officer went online to the second suspect's Facebook page and noticed he was wearing a black hoodie with a white zipper. This matched a witness description of a hoodie worn during the Speedy Mart armed robbery December 3rd. Now, through all of this evidence, police built a case and charged both Boss and the second juvenile suspect. Reporting live in Columbia, Jack Cordy, KOMU-8 News.
All right, thanks, Jack. All of the latest information on this story will continue to be updated on our website, KOMU.com.
Sedalia police are investigating a possible robbery. KOMU-8 News tried to contact the police department last night, but all they told us is they responded to a reported gunshot victim. When they arrived at Gold Buyer, a pawn shop on Ohio Street, police say the victim had, quote, serious wounds. The victim, Wesley Brown, was originally transported to Bothwell Regional Medical Center. This morning, we confirmed the victim is at University Hospital in Columbia in the surgical intensive care unit. Police cannot confirm if anything was taken from the store.
Don't second guess yourself when you're driving by and see the number next to the dollar sign at a gas station. Gas prices at the pump plummeted to just below $2 in Columbia today, and people were lining up to grab the deal. Customer after customer swiped their cards and chose grade 87 and pleasantly watched while their totals were calculated. While some follow prices on apps like Gas Buddy, others just got lucky.
Well, I was headed into town and I'd seen it at $2.05 a lot of places, maybe $2.09, but when I saw $1.99, I thought, on my way back, that's where I'm going, so here I am.
According to GasBuddy.com, the last time the average gas price in Missouri was below $2 was all the way back in 2009. Columbia is not the first city to go under that $2 mark. In fact, a few customers said they were calling family members in other states to brag.
The EPA decided not to categorize coal ash as a hazardous material according to new rules released today. Columbia is home to more than 1,000 coal ash ponds nationwide. Some environmental activists worry coal ash ponds could be hazardous to the public, especially if some of the substance got into the drinking water supply. Columbia might have to find a new way to dispose of coal ash.
Some of the options on the table could be anything from reducing the amount of coal that we burn so we end up with less ash, or possibly different uses for that coal ash.
If Columbia does have to change its disposal process for coal ash, it could cost the power plant, which could affect your power rates.
It looks like local children will receive their Christmas wish after all. Last week, the Salvation Army said they were short on gifts for the annual toy drive, but now with the help of the community, each child will receive a gift Christmas Day. Families started picking up their gifts yesterday, getting vouchers for groceries, clothing, and stocking stuffers. For some, this isn't just a Christmas miracle for the kiddos.
It was terrific, and we are delighted that lots of kids are going to have a great, happy Christmas and go, oh, I got just what I wanted, which is what we're shooting for.
Major Trimmel even donated her own finches to make 3 little girls happy this holiday season. The FBI officially accuses North Korea of being behind the Sony cyber attack, and President Obama makes his end-of-the-year address.
KOMU-8's Michael Lindquist has those stories and more in today's First Nation Report.
The FBI has released its findings of the Sony hacking, and it accuses the North Korean government of executing the attack. Sony Pictures Entertainment was the victim of a cyber attack last month that destroyed its systems and stole personal and commercial data. Sony Pictures has also canceled the release of the movie The Interview because of the attack. The Sony hacks was just one of the many topics covered by the president at his end-of-the-year address this afternoon. The president says Sony made a mistake canceling the release of The Interview. He says America and companies operating here cannot censor freedom of expression due to threats from foreign dictators. Obama also says Sony did not consult with him before pulling the movie. Olympic gold medal swimmer Michael Phelps pleaded guilty to drunk driving charges today in Baltimore. Phelps was sentenced to 1 year in prison, but that was suspended. He is now on probation for 1.5 years. The 29-year-old was arrested in late September after leaving a Baltimore casino. Phelps's original trial date was postponed when he announced he was entering a 6-week drug and alcohol treatment program in October. And that's your first look around the nation.
In world news, hundreds of delegates from across Cuba met in Havana today. This comes after the announcement that Cuba and the U.S. will attempt to normalize diplomatic relations. The biannual assembly meetings usually are a rubber stamp session and provide the ruling government a chance to showcase its legitimacy. With the diplomatic opening with the U.S., many delegates say today's assembly will provide a basis for discussion on how the country should proceed in the next few years. Today, rescuers brought out 12 workers trapped for nearly 4 days after a tunnel collapsed in Vietnam. 11 men and 1 woman were building a tunnel as part of a new hydropower plant in the central part of the country. Bad weather and geology of the area complicated rescue efforts since the accident on Tuesday. And a sudden eruption of a volcano in eastern Indonesia today injured 9 hikers and 1 is missing. Mount Gamalama on Ternate Island shot thick gray smoke and ash up 6,000 feet into the sky beginning late last night. Schools, offices, and an airport within 20 miles of the volcano have been closed. Mount Gamalama is one of about 120 active volcanoes in Indonesia.
It was pretty cloudy outside today, to say the least. Let's send it over to Kenton Jawicki for a look at your weekend forecast.
Thanks, Colin. Definitely a cloudy one out there. Something that unfortunately we're really used to by now. It's been a couple weeks since we've seen a lot of sunshine out there. You can see that right here on our satellite and radar. A little bit of rain actually in southern Missouri as well. Even some drizzle down into the Lake of the Ozarks. That's still possible here for about the next couple hours as we head into your evening. However, no accumulation really expected. 36 right now in Columbia, 38 in Jefferson City, 35 in Moberly, and 36 in Boonville. Currently winds not bad out there, only 6 miles an hour. This is all from the east. As we head overnight, winds are going to switch over. They're going to be from the south, just bringing in warmer air. We're only going to see low temperatures get down into the middle and lower 30s as we head into your overnight hours. Coming up after the break, I'll take a look at warmer temperatures for the weekend and when you can expect more precipitation in your next 8 days in total.
The CDC warns people of a deadly outbreak connected to a holiday snack.
And a new Ebola treatment center is about to open, and medics are getting prepared.
Right now, you're taking a live look over the Lake of the Ozarks. It is almost 5:10 on this Friday afternoon. You're watching KOMU 8 News, first at 5. Coverage you can count on.